Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Zakavane101, and welcome to End of File. This game is made by a very small group of people over in New Zealand that made this game in university, I believe either as a competition or just a project that they were working on, and they are looking for opinions and people's thoughts on the game, so please leave critical feedback in the description. Let them know what you think of this game as I play through it, because that would be very helpful to them when it comes to creating future titles. I don't believe this game will be released to the public, but if it is, it'll be probably totally free, and you guys will be able to pick that up. If that does happen, I will put it in the description below once I find out that's actually possible, but if you don't see anything in the description, then, well, unfortunately, that just means they haven't released it to the public, or I totally forgot. One of the two. Those are two totally possible things that could happen. Anywho, let's delve on into this. I would just like to thank Watercat for getting me the copy of this game. He's one of the devs on the game, and he's certainly interested to see what you guys have to say as well. So now that that's all out of the way, let's go take a look at End of File. So, like I said, this is a Unity game. This is on the Unity 3D engine. So, unfortunately, there's really no menus. The only menu that you can see here is return to game and exit, which is bleh. Oh well. And you can't change your sensitivity, which I personally don't like. There's no field of view slider, which Total Biscuit wouldn't like, and myself, and anyone that has sort of motion sickness when it comes to first-person games. The FOV doesn't seem too bad, though, from what I'm able to see here, so it seems to be kind of alright. Yeah, that's kind of the only bugbears I have, and also these won't change if you change them in the Unity screen. So let's go ahead and execute this game, and jump on into it. Woohoo! Yeah, we're jumping on in to the end of the world, the end of this file, which of course is a programming thing, which I have no idea because I don't program anything in the world. I just play video games and they're fun. Okay, so welcome to End of File. We finally made it in, and that's a bunch of cool art. So you'll notice that the art style is very similar to that of Antechamber. You might notice some things that are very similar to Cube. And that's, you know, kind of what they're going for. They said they wanted to have an art style of Antechamber and a little bit of puzzles based on Antechamber and Cube. So, as we see here, there's a bunch of cool, neat things that we can work with. It's some strange block, and we kind of want to get over there to that other door because, you know, doors are what progress things in games. And if we fall off the side, we die horribly. But unfortunately, you don't get to see the die horribly part. So, we'll just try and work our way through this game and figure out what to do here. Oh look, there's a thing that we can do here. So it tells us to look, and if we are patient enough... By the way, when the developer was trying to explain this to me, because I had no idea this was even a perspective game at this point, he just goes, just be patient. The game will help you out. And I did, and as you saw, it pulled me in a little bit and allowed us to make this ramp. So if you look in kind of like the basic proper location, the game will kind of help you out just a little bit. It's kind of like auto-aim in Call of Duty, if you ever played that on like the Xbox or whatever, and you hold down the left trigger and the game's like, okay, you were close enough, we'll let you aim at the guy's chest and murder him in 1 or 2 shots. So that's kind of the same for this game as well. You just kind of look in the right direction, and you have it almost lined up, and the game's like, now I'll just nudge you a little bit, because, you know, you're basically there. Gives you a little bit of that helping hand that kind of pushes your butt over a little bit, and it's like, you know what, there, that's perfect. Like taking a photo back in kindergarten. It's like, okay guys, just gotta move your butts just a little bit and it'll be perfect. So another puzzle here. This one's pretty straightforward. All you gotta do is line up these little dark blue things with the light blue. So dark blue is what you can manipulate, and any other color, I guess not. Because, you know, they're not dark blue. So the game tries to teach you that very early on. And, oh see here. Beautiful. Yes. Yeah, this one was pretty quick. So, interesting note, when they were doing some QA testing on this game, or just kind of getting people to try it out and tell them what they think of it, apparently a lot of people gave up at this part because they didn't understand what the perspective of the game was, or the design of the game was, which was to be having a certain type of perspective on things. But I believe then the developer didn't actually tell them, hey, this is a perspective-based game, you have to look at things in certain ways, and they will work. So, I think when you go into this game like purely blind, which is what I kind of did right at the start because I wasn't really expecting anything, you know, you probably won't understand what's going on. There's a weird, you know, stop sign that says look, and then you kind of go, what does that mean? So, you know, it can be a bit confusing. And here we are, look at this. Cool thing-a-lang. What's this all about? It looks like it crafts some sort of clock, but unfortunately that didn't do anything, so... Let's see... Oh, there we go. So keep close attention to this color here. So this is a new color that we've been introduced to. This is pink, which I believe stands for power. Pink for power. Dark blue for manipulate things, and light blue for don't touch me, I don't want to be touched. Yeah, there we go. That's probably pretty accurate to how that should work. I would just like to say that a lot of the cool little designs here are so fun to look at, even if they don't make any logical sense at all. But again, this entire game doesn't make any sort of logical sense. Why am I here? What am I doing? What's the meaning of life? Well, none of those answers will actually be brought to you because this game has no real text-based stuff in terms of, you know, explaining what world you're in. All you know is that you're playing a game called End of File, and that is relative to a programming term. So, maybe you're just programming a game. Maybe this is Reboot. Who knows? Maybe you're rebooting Reboot. No one actually knows. Except for maybe the developers, or maybe the developers don't even know. And by the way, I'm really terrible at platforming. Oh my god, there was a thing right there. Of course I'm going to be terrible at platforming, because I didn't actually move that block out. Okay, here we go. Let's get this going a little bit. Boom. There you go. By the way, if you notice me ever like moving the cursor a little bit too much, or overcompensating, or undercompensating even, that is because I cannot adjust the sensitivity in the game. I could do that with my mouse, but I don't feel like doing that for just one test game. I really hope that like, if they make a game in the future, they add that ability, because sensitivity is so important for anything that is has some sort of crosshair in it, or just anything in general. Anything that has a camera. You're gonna... Oh my gosh. Speaking of my mouse being terrible, my mouse kind of glitched out there for a second, but I fixed it. So do not be alarmed, everything is good. Everything is running beautifully. Also, I don't know what these glitches are. Uh-oh. Well, that looks kind of weird. I must have been, like, perfectly lined up. Oh! Oh, dear. It entirely disappears when you look at it at a certain angle. Look at that. Well, look at that. It's all entirely broken. I broke your game, Watercat. How do you feel about it? Pretty bad, I bet. Alright, let's move back here. Bam! Look at that. Light blue means don't touch me, I don't want to be touched. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to jump on you, so does that count as touching? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'll get off of you as quickly as possible. There you go, you can just go relax on your own and have a good time. Because I'm going to be moving my way all the way to the end. Because I'm going to hopefully beat this game in one sitting. Because it's actually pretty short. Not that long. Like I said, though, it's a test game. I would really like to say, like, kudos to the art guys. They really stuck to an idea. They were like, we want to make something that looks like Antichamber, and they did that, but then they added in their own kind of art to it. So it's a unique world with a bunch of cool stuff like cubes and things. It's still a mysterious world. You're not going, hey, I've seen all of this before. No, you haven't. It's kind of cool, man. It's really neat. I mean, Antichamber obviously had its own look to it as well, with different kinds of colors and whatnot. And this one's going for kind of like that pure white with the disturbance of these dark blue colors, the pink colors, and the light blue colors. I'm not sure if you ever bump into other things, though, but we'll see. Let's move back here. And create a staircase. Badoosh! I do like that. The nice little touch, by the way, with the sound effect and the screen glitching out when it forms the object that you're trying to make. Just so nice. Feels so nice and satisfying. It lets you know, hey, you did something good. Here's a pat on the shoulder for like half a second, and go on and do a much tougher puzzle. Which is quite enjoyable indeed. So as you can see, we get another little bit of a look at this clock here. And a nice little indication for what direction you're supposed to go is this little object here. I would like to say, though, if there was like some sort of lighting system in this game, I would like it if they focused on that little pink crystal, maybe give it some sort of glow, maybe give it something that would make it more, or stand out more. I think that would be very important to something like this. But for now, we will go ahead and activate all of these cubes, because I think these ones will... There we go, they'll change color. And by the way, yeah, that's kind of silly. An interesting thing about this game right now, which is quite different from Cube, is that in this game, all you have to do is make those cubes elongate to the maximum length that they can go. It doesn't matter what they are. Once they are at the maximum length, it doesn't matter. You don't need to bring them back down. They're already at the perfect spot. So, you know, it kind of messes it up a little bit. In Cube, they would have certain things that would make it so you would have to... Ooh, there's a secret. There's a secret over there. I wonder if I can see that. Okay. Well, I didn't get to see that very well. Let's see if we can... I'm more interested in the secret than trying to explain my point. But no, in Cube... Can I jump down here? Aha! I don't know, you'll have to pause the YouTube video to do that. So in Cube, like for the third time, you'll have to retract blocks and extend blocks to get through an entire puzzle. You don't just extend everything and then it's a-okay. Everything is perfect and you're good to go. You hit, you know, you did no flaws. There is a flaw to activating every single cube in Cube. So you have to be very careful about what you do and the choices that you make when it comes to completing puzzles in that game. So if they worked a little bit more on the puzzles, particularly just in the puzzles that require you to extend it and retract blocks, then I would personally enjoy that a lot more. But it's a cool idea because you have to extend everything and then it changes the color of the blocks and goes, okay, you can now manipulate these things because you went ahead and found these blocks and activated them, and were able to use them for the greater good. And speaking of the greater good, I think I'm going the right way, but I've said that before in this game and I've gotten entirely lost. If this was like some sort of maze puzzle game, I would probably poop myself. This actually looks like a maze. A maze. Indeed. Can I jump down here? There we go. Actually, just remember this spot right here. That's some more power traveling through there, so another reference to that pink is power in this game. Pink is power, green is touch me because I get moved, and then dark blue is manipulate me, and the light blue is don't touch me anymore because I don't want to be touched. There we go. I'm learning lots. Learning lots as we go along here. Just gonna activate this stuff. Oh, and it changes color. So this one now it says don't touch me anymore, I don't want to be touched. And that's good. Oh, come closer. Okay. Oh. Where did that go? Oh. Well, there you go. There's a little bit of a door there. Hello, door. Playing it nice and easy. Another gripe I would totally put on the game is that I would love to have it so the run speed was the same as the sprint speed. And oh man, this room looks really good. I'll be honest with you, this room looks really, really good. I love it whenever I go a little bit higher. Like, look, there's like pipes and stuff. And even though it looks kind of weird and spritey and 2D, because, you know, it looks like it's kind of glitching out, but I don't really care. It just looks so good. It looks so cool. I wish I had, like, half the artistic talent of this. Oh, so cool. I really like it. I know I'm nerding out, but I like something that looks unique and steampunky, and this looks steampunky with no color, which is pretty hard to do. Alright. Move on. Indeed. Indeed. Also, I think I was trying to say something and I probably didn't get my point across, and I totally forgot what it was, so I do apologize, and hopefully I'll figure it out. I think it was that I want the run speed to be as fast as when you're holding shift. That's probably what I meant to say. Okay, so, we need to get to that top floor there to go up there, so I think what we need to do is drop down here. And there we go. I like how it pulls you around like that. And you don't have to kill yourself. I've done that before. It's a nice little reset. It's a little bit of a trick that I like to use every now and again. I just kind of kill myself in the game. And it helps me out. But let's go find another bit of a secret here. Get your pause button ready. Boom. What the? Okay, that threw me off a little bit because I was still staring at the top. Also, there's a very strange blur effect. Let me just... Oh, darn it. I wish you could see it, but... Probably not going to show up too well on the YouTubes, but if you watch closely enough, you might see that when I'm moving the cursor around quickly, there's a little bit of a blur going on, and usually in the background sky. That's a Unity thing though, so they can't really do anything about that. I hate Blur. I hate Blur. I don't like it. I don't like it. Blur can go die. Just doesn't look nice. This game, however, does, so I don't mind. Okay, we'll head up here. Note how that didn't change color. I don't know why. Because I don't think it actually pops up later on in the game where it's like, hey, I didn't change color, maybe you need to do something about this. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care too much. Alright, here's another little spot here. Because we need to get to that door. And we'll just jump off the side, hopefully not killing ourselves. Boom. And there you go. So that was this area. Pretty cool, unique area that kind of combines a bit of a mazy look to it. With some cube elements and some antechamber elements, I guess. And I say antechamber lightly, it's more like just a perspective-based thing. By the way, more power here. If we jump on down, this is the developer's favorite area, said Watercat. Everyone's favorite area. They call it... Well, I'm not actually going to say what it is. I'm going to let you guys decide what the name of it is, and I'll tell you right after. So I'm just going to shut up for a moment. And there you go. So this is their Zen Garden, they called it. Their favorite area of the game. Really cool secret. I would love to see more of that if they make another game, because secrets like that are just fun to look at. Anything that's sort of like Zen-like is great for puzzle games, because anything that can kind of calm you down after you've been frustrated for hours on a certain puzzle, something like a Zen Garden would probably help you out quite a bit. Ease some of that pain of failing a bunch and saying like, hey bud, you found the secret. You're pretty cool. Nice job. And I actually found that secret pretty easily. I accidentally jumped down and just looked around the area because I typically do that when it comes to most games, and I'm like, oh hey, what's this room? I hope it's not like, you know, the right way I'm supposed to be going. It turns out it wasn't the right way I was supposed to be going, and I found the secret room. So welcome to the final room of the game. So yeah, like I said guys, let me know what you thought of end of file. Any sort of critical feedback will help the developers greatly. They appreciate it entirely. Because you are awesome if you do so. Let me see if I can... Oh, can I just start from down here? Oh my god. Okay, now normally you would go up there and be like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, but... I kinda jumped the gun. I did the naughty, guys. I did the naughty. I jumped the gun. I think I might have to jump up here, though, in a moment to complete this, because I think there's a block I'm supposed to activate somewhere here. There we go. I'm gonna jump up this thing. You could just climb up there, but I'm too lazy. There we go. Oh, yeah. There you go. The Mad Strats. The pro MLG skills. Oh, yeah. So normally you'd go up there and be like, oh, I have to jump back down and go back and do the perspective thing. But I've already done this level, so I'm just gonna skip through it as quickly as possible and get to the end, because I really do like what happens right at the end. It looks just freaking wonderful. And adds on to how much I love the art team that worked on this game. The guys that worked on the sounds and the art and the visual aesthetics, you guys did a wonderful job. I would not change too much, other than just like, you know, a bit of the lighting, a bit of a fix to some of the sprites, because I noticed that some of them are kind of glitching out every now and again. That might just be a flaw in the engine, though. So I can't really tell you for sure. You guys are the developers. I am just some guy on the internet telling you what to do. And there we go. We are out here once again. Pretty simple puzzle like that. More of just like something to slow you down before the very end, but I didn't have too much trouble. I was more like, I had the developer on Mumble, and I was just talking with him while we were going through, and he's like, wow, you got through that pretty fast. And I was just grumbling. I was like, oh my god, you made me have to go all the way back down, you jerk. Okay, so there you go. So all these turned into purple, which means they are now power. which is interesting. Nothing yet has changed into power. Everything has turned into a light blue or a dark blue. And let's see if this aligns. What could it be? Looks like something magical. Oh my. Is anything else changing? Okay, it looks like only this is changing. Oh my god, epilepsy warning. Alright. Well, it looks like I destroyed the portal. I eliminated the portal. The portal has been eliminated. And it appears I was kind of portaled out into some sort of mountain area, because these look like mountains with all the wireframing kind of going on here. So it's kind of like I got teleported out of whatever it was that I was in. And yeah, so end of file. Pretty cool game, I would have to say. And there's a few more artistic things about to happen here, which I absolutely love. Going out here for the first time, by the way, was just magical. I had no idea what this was, but it just looked really cool. I was trying to get ready to actually jump down. And actually, can we jump down? I'm gonna try and jump down. Oh, end of file, you jerks. Alright, well that is the end of file. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Like I said, let the devs know what you think of the game, so they can make cooler games in the future. And hopefully you will see them making other stuff. I'm Macabane101, guys. This is another Zen Garden of sexiness. And I will see you guys in the next one.